What's up, guys? I'm back with another one. I'm here to talk about Prince's 12th LP right here, the Graffiti Bridge, being released of August 20th of 1990, and it's the same name as the movie, and it was released through Paisley Park Records and Warner Brother Records. And man, I gotta tell y'all, this album has incredible hits on here. You got Melody, Cool, Round and Round, New Power Generation, Shake, and Thieves. I mean, not Thieves. Thieves in the Temple. Thieves in the Temple, the latest fashion, Tick Tick Bang, and Release It. Can't stop this feeling I got this feeling I got, including New Power Generation Part 2, Graffiti Bridge, still would stand all the time. So many classics, man. I love this record. Love Machine with Morris Day in the Time. You definitely got Morris Day on here. And then you also got Mavis Staples, including George Clinton, We Can Funk. That's one of my favorites right here. Round and Round by Tevin Campbell. Man, just so much incredible hits on here, man. I love this record. I was really glad I got a hold of this LP. Really glad I did. For reals. For reals. I am glad I got this record. So, anyways, the album was much better received in sales than the film itself, and it reached number 6 in the US, and it was his third consecutive chart topper, following Lovesexy and Batman. Both are classics. I love those two. On the UK albums chart, nearly every song on the record was written by Prince, and including those performed by the handful of other performing artists, including, I already mentioned, Mavis Staples, Tevin Campbell, and The Time. And the album produced the hit singles Thieves in the Temple and the New Power Generation, an anthem and 2 parts celebrating Prince's newly created backing band, the New Power Generation. The band would get its first official outing on Prince's next album, Diamonds and Pearls. That's another classic right there, too. And more to it, more history. The concept for this album and the film began as early as mid-'87, but experienced delays for various reasons. And the title track was originally recorded during this period, hence the liner notes listing Sheila E. and Bonnie Boyer as performers on the track. In fact, nearly the entire album is composed previously recorded sessions that were updated for this release. And Tick Tick Bang was originally from '81 during the sessions for the Controversy album, written by Prince, and it was originally a more punk rock song with a bass synthesizer. And the update of that song includes an uncredited drum sample from Jimi Hendrix's Little Miss Lover, Can't Stop This Feeling I Got, was from 1982, but later updated in mid-'86 during the sessions for aborted album Dream Factory. And before further updating, We Can Funk was the first recorded in '83, originally titled We Can F-U-Z-K. Before Prince recorded the song in '86 with the Revolution under the title We Can Funk. Before further updating into the '83 version took place, a melody similar to that of Purple Rain can be heard during the bridge of Can't Stop This Feeling I Got. And the 3 tracks were drastically updated in '89 for the release of the album Graffiti Bridge. And The Question of You was recorded in the year of '85 during the sessions for Parade, with little updating added to the original version. Joy and Repetition was first included on the unreleased Crystal Ball album in late '86, and that same recording was used for this album. The track was not updated further for release, unlike the other older songs. And Prince also kept the original seg of Party Noise at the start of the song, this seguing from We Can Funk on this album instead of the ball. When Joy Repetition was placed on Crystal Ball in '86, which is also heard at the end of I Know, leading into Alphabet Street on Lovesexy. And the title track from '87 was updated from the album, as well as Elephants and Flowers from the '88 unreleased Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic album. And then the latest fashion later given in to The Time for their unreleased Corporate World album, and Melody, Cool, and Still Would Stand All Time, were intended for Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic, were later performed in some Lovesexy after shows, and Still Would Stand All Time was later considered for Batman, but it was replaced by Scandalous. And the 4 tracks featuring The Time were originally going to be on Corporate World, recorded in '89, though the latest fashion reuses music from My Summertime Thing from their album Pandemonium. Pandominium. The New Power Generation was originally recorded in '82 as Bold Generation, and the only truly new compositions recorded for the album were Round and Round, performed by Tevin Campbell, and the Thieves in the Temple. The latter song was the final track recorded for the album during early 1990. The B-side, Get Off, would soon be incorporated into Get Off the following year. And then the album received positive reviews for contemporary critics who praised Prince's songwriting and the variety of the music while deeming it as an improvement of over 1988's Lovesexy. The Time magazine had hailed the record as a groovable feast, while Q's Lloyd Bradley claimed it was practically impossible to choose anything that doesn't deserve to be there. But anywho, how long is it since that can honestly be said about a Prince record? And the Entertainment Weekly, Greg Sando, had said the album was likely a masterpiece that found Prince's rediscovering his ability to cover different styles effortlessly. David Quantic of NME felt that it was the first Prince album to consolidate his various influences into a unified sound instead of separating them out, so we can see how good he is at displaying his references. And then Rolling Stone had interviewer Paul Evans had credited him for lending a sharper focus, harder groove, and emphasis on funk and rock rather than the feckless genre dabbling of albums such as Lovesexy and Around the World in a Day. And Evans also believed that Prince's catchy compositions helped to make the omnivorous mysticism of his lyrics newly convincing, but still startling, sensual, and freeing. Greg Kot, and the Chicago Tribune's chief music critic, called the album a sprawling, wildly diffused statement on love's sin and sex and salvation that ranks with his best work, as well as perhaps his most complex and, dare we say, mature exploration of those themes. And then in New York Times, John Perlos believed that Graffiti Bridge would perhaps give Prince a success on both commercial and artistic terms. Although he lamented on some of the lyrics, verbally he's no deep thinker when he's not singing about sex. His messages tend to be benevolent and banal. Robert Christgau was less impressed in his consumer guide for the Village Voice. He applauded the guest artists, particularly The Time and some of Prince's own half of the songs, but said most of them were overly subtle, if not rehearsed, or just weak. Title track, generational anthem, and lead single all reprise familiar themes, and the ballads fall short of the exquisite vocalies that can make his slow ones sing. And at the end of 1990, Graffiti Bridge was voted the 10th best album of the year. The PASM Job, a nationwide poll of American critics, published the Village Voice. And retrospective review for All Music, Stephen Thomas Erlewine called the album an often very good album, whose the best songs were those performed by Prince, and the exception of The Time to Release It, and Tevin Campbell's Round and Round. And Michelangelo Matos was more critical in the Rolling Stone album guide 2004 at the time, finding the record interesting primarily for its guest stars and for the fact that it now sounds as dated as the New Jack Swing it apes. Just classics, man. I love this album. Nobody could ever duplicate a classic like this in a lifetime by Prince. With Prince, Mavis Staples, and Tevin Campbell, and the Moore's Day and The Time. Everybody. You got everybody on this album. I hope someday I could get the movie, too. What's your favorite song off this classic? Don't forget to hit the like and sub and comment and follow your boy for more. I will be glad to return. Y'all have a blessed one and stay safe. If you don't have this record, go search for it and bump it on your turntables, y'all. Peace.